Now joined by one of the GeneralSports.com athletes of the week, it's Evan Lindner of the wrestling team. Evan, you finished second at the regional championship this weekend to earn your spot into the national tournament for the first time for you. Just take us through everything that went through your mind the whole weekend, and knowing going into the last match, you were guaranteed a spot at nationals.
Yeah, so every time we go to regionals, it's not really something you can prepare for mentally, because once you get there, you kind of feel the tensions in the room, especially in those later rounds, semis, and third place matches when national spots are on the line. So it's really just a crazy weekend, and you kind of have to keep yourself, try to wrestle free and loose. And even with that, I don't think I've done that completely, but I got enough done. And yeah, it's a fun weekend, but definitely intense, and it's nice to make the finals and know that no matter what happens in the finals, you're still advancing, because it's really all about surviving and advancing at this point.
This year, obviously, you've taken a big leap forward in your growth as not only a wrestler, but as a person, everything. What has been the biggest transformation from your first year here at WNL to your second?
Yeah, I mean, in a way, I would say just kind of thinking about wrestling less, almost in a way, just kind of having fun with it, going with the flow, you know, not putting too much pressure on winning, but rather just improving on my wrestling, kind of being happy with how I'm wrestling. Not really focusing on, you know, oh, this guy does this, I need to do this. Just focusing on what can I do to get better rather than what can I do to counteract what this guy's doing, and focus on what I'm doing. Just kind of having fun and just being loose and being with my friends and just having a good time, really.
So now you still get to compete. You got to wrestle in a couple weeks up in Wisconsin. So now you have a few weeks to kind of prepare yourself. What are you going to do over those weeks to make sure you're in the best chance to try and be an All-American?
Yeah, so it's all about recovery right now, making sure my body feels good. You know, most of the work, most of the conditioning, getting in shape is already done. But making minor tweaks in positions, going over film with coaches, wrestling with my partners, just really finding those positions that I can improve on in the next week that will elevate my game to compete at that national level. But really just making small adjustments and making sure I'm ready for next Friday and Saturday. That's all.
He's Evan Lindner of the wrestling team and our GeneralSports.com athlete of the week. Evan, thanks for joining us and best of luck.
Thank you.
Now joined by one of the GeneralSports.com athletes of the week, it's Mary Schleusner of the women's basketball team. Mary, quite a weekend for your program. First and second wins in the NCAA Tournament in program history. How cool is it to share that moment with this group and head to the Sweet 16 for the first time ever?
Yeah, I mean, if you were at the game, you could definitely see how excited we were. I mean, even after the first round of 64, to never having won an NCAA game before and to be heading to the Sweet 16 this weekend, it's pretty special. So can't imagine another group of girls I'd rather do it with. And it sort of speaks to how far the program has come, I think, for the girls that came before us who have worked to build this program up over the past couple of years, and, you know, the girls that are going to come into this program next year and the years following that to see what great strides we've made.
On an individual level, one of the best games ever in program history on Friday night against Vassar. A program record 45 points. An NCAA Division III women's basketball tournament, single game record 29 rebounds, and 7 blocks to add in with it. How locked in were you on Friday?
I got pretty lucky. Time after time, I was throwing them up because they weren't really, guarding me that heavily in the post. A lot of ODAC teams are sort of focused on us pretty post heavy because we have a lot of threats down low, but really, I just got pretty lucky. And, when the shots were still dropping, I was like, why not keep shooting? And the teammates, passed me the ball with more trust than they ever have before. And it kept falling. We kept playing, have some great stops on D and, getting it back on offense.
Up next for your program, a trip up to Rhode Island for the Sweet 16 to take on undefeated Rhode Island College. What challenges do you face on Friday night?
I think it's playing composed, playing together, and playing our game. I think a lot of times we struggle because we are a very fast-paced game, and when we play teams that, are a little slower, we often play down to them, whether that's personally at an individual level from me or as a team. But really, it's just playing our game, and I think a big thing for us is discipline. When we write down our keys for each game, we write that down every single time. So we just got to play disciplined, find our shooters, find the open look, play the game we know how to play, and we have been playing all season. I mean, what got us to the Sweet 16 in the first place.
Well, Mary, best of luck this weekend. We'll all be rooting for you here in Lexington.
Thank you.